Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the NRRA Finals Weekend, presented by Mickey Thompson. We are here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in Kentucky. We had an awesome day of racing yesterday. We've got another full lineup today. Matt, what are your thoughts on the courses for today?
Well, yesterday was mild-ish for this area. Today's going to get a little more wild. We're going to keep stepping up and getting more crazy. More ledges, a little more everything. More intensity. We had some crazy downhills. We saw several rollovers. We saw several recoveries during the rollovers. So UTV and bouncer. Luckily, we had a pretty quick recovery time, so we kept the show going, kept everything going, which is kind of nice. We had some youth racing going on, so we have a lot more racing going today. And then we have a very wild Saturday planned. So a lot of guys are going to go out there and send it. We've seen some guys yesterday pushing really hard. Nick Wright going out there and just absolutely blasting. Watching him go from 4th, passing Cooper 2 points. You know, he only had 2 points gap, going up to 3rd. Now he's sitting at 3rd for the season. Cooper is not going to let that stand. He's here to make a statement. So we'll see how things evolve for the weekend. Yeah, and speaking of rollovers and recoveries, Matt had your own firsthand experience with that. I did. Some of those ledges are pretty steep, just an FYI. I don't know if you saw that game. So we got the buggy. It ran like really, really crappy after that. Got the rest. Ended up getting some points on the board, which is really nice. We went back yesterday. We're looking things over, and I broke my transmission in half. So, we will not be racing today. I didn't know that. But we did get some JB Weld and some Gorilla Tape. And tomorrow we're going to be out here. Well, we're not sure how long it'll last, but we're gonna just try to keep it's not a pressure. I called my transmission guy and I said, hey, you know, how's this going to work? Can we Band-Aid this at all? Da-da-da. I said, I got 2 more days of racing still. And he said, here's what I would do. He said, you can JB Weld it and then put some Gorilla Tape around it. Where you broke it, that's not a pressure point. It's just going to keep fluid from running out. And I don't care if a little fluid runs out, just to keep most of the fluid in there so I don't burn up the rest of the transmission. So we're going to try to send it a little bit tomorrow and see how it goes. So it should be a good time. Always an adventure.
Well, thank you guys for joining us here on the show. We are ready to kick things off for today. We do have a little reel from some of those rollovers that we'll share with you guys later on in the show. But for right now, we are ready to kick off Course 3 for the Rock Life Off-Road UTV Stock Class. We ran courses 1 and 2 yesterday. We had some great racing from all of our drivers and all of our classes yesterday. That looks like Coy Chapel on the line to start things off for us today. Thank you to everybody tuning in online. Good morning. Welcome to Rock Racing TV. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not Coy. This is Jay Stortz on the line.
Jay Stortz pulling in. They had to put Daniel Heckley's Big Rock Bouncer together yesterday. So there was Daniel and Jay were out there working on it this morning. That rut is huge. They got it put back together. He had messed up his rear steer pump. And so his wife's father went and picked one up in St. Louis and drove all night to get here, and they put it in this morning. So definitely going to be a long weekend for those guys.
Whew. Do what you got to do to keep things running. The drama of race weekend.
Yes.
Especially here at Finals this weekend. 3 full days of racing, 4 courses for all of our classes. A normal race weekend is only 2 courses. If you guys are newer to the series and how we run things and are wondering about the significance of that. So it's double the racing, double the points, double the action.
Double the fun.
Double the drama.
It's only funny because it's true. It's over multiple days, where normally we race on one day, but this is over 3 days. So luckily it gives you time to get points on the board. So if guy A breaks and guy B breaks, if guy A can get his put back together, now he's going to keep going up in that points. And when you're battling for that season position, it comes in really big. So we saw Jay pull in that Ford Play buggy in his full-size rock bouncer, but he also does do some racing in our UTV stock class.
And Jay did, unfortunately, he had a rollover yesterday on Course 2 for the stock class. And I got to give him props because he tried to self-recover. The thing was on its side on flat ground, and Jay basically was trying to, deadlift it and roll it back over on his own. And I thought maybe just by sheer force of will and a little bit of anger he was going to be able to do it. But 107.914. That was Jay Stortz, our first driver of the day. We are on Course 3 for the UTV stock class. We've got Dan Carter on the line now, it looks like.
And I agree, Jay. I think if anybody could do it, Jay, between his muscles and, like you said, a little bit of anger, I think he could have uprighted it.
Oh, it was rocking, but no, he was a little too much on flat ground.
Yes.
If he'd had just a little incline, I bet he could have done it. But glad to see him get that, get another cross through the finish line under his belt. Dan Carter also having a little difficulty yesterday with a DNF on course 1. Course 2.
That is a really violent ravine there.
Man, you don't realize how large and in charge the ruts on this hillside are until you stick a razor down in there. But, yeah, Dan had a DNF on course 1, was able to finish course 2. He actually even had a rollover on course 2, but landed it, was able to keep going and finish the course. We had a whole lot of weird rollovers yesterday.
Did.
Some of them were just kind of like a tip over.
Yeah.
A little flop over.
I was talking to Brandon yesterday, and he's like, man, he's like, it was so rough. He's like, I watched Matt Holt roll back over and get right back on wheels, take back off again. He's like, I couldn't even do that.
Brandon Davis, also the victim of a rollover out here.
Again, I was saying that us in the booth were talking. It was so unexpected that he really didn't have time to try to recover from that.
We had at least, half a dozen yesterday.
And they were, like you said, weird, crazy kind of off-camber rollovers.
So if you guys missed the show yesterday, of course, we'd love for you to go back and watch it on Facebook or YouTube, the Rock Racing TV channels. But we'll just go ahead and fill you in. And we were talking about how the ruts out here and the just kind of like these ditches that are woven in across the Mickey Thompson mountainside here, they are in charge. They will boss you around and tell you where you're going to go on the hillside, whether you want to go that way or not. And many drivers fell victim to that yesterday. I'm sure we'll see a little more of that today. Woo, Dan. Making it work, though.
Yes. Again, I think that you kind of 100% right. You see some of those ruts, so you're dropping into some of those ruts, so you expect the front end to drop in, or it tilt a little right, tilt a little left. That was a 116.743 for Mr. Dan the Man Carter. That Rock Life Off-Road buggy. And this is our Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class.
Braden Upchurch on the line now.
Braden's parents are out there cheering him on in the crowd. I'm sure they're probably also on the live feed tuning in as well. Speaking of that, Bobby Upchurch is in there. What's up, Danny? Danny's been checking out Danny's stories there. She posted a picture with her cast up.
Hey, Taylor,
chilling.
Where's our guy? There we go. Taylor's got his hands full in here. We got to give props to the whole NRRA Rock Racing TV crew. We do a lot with not a lot.
Yes.
Out here.
A lot with a little, yes.
Since Taylor is a master multitasker. Or at least he aspires to be one.
He fakes it really well. No, shout out to all of our production crew out here helping. Our cameraman and camera ladies. Got 2 ladies out there rocking cameras today. Appreciate them. Again, Braden has a great smooth run going here. I like his teal wrap, though. I'm going to be honest. You know.
Of course.
It's teal and white. Can't really hate, you know. Pretty much the greatest colors ever.
Braden was, unfortunately, another one of our drivers that had 1 DNF yesterday, and he had a 6th place finish on course 2. I think did he roll over as well?
Yes, on the first course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
We're telling you guys, if you missed it yesterday, there were so many weird rollovers happening. .150, and that is our current leader for course 3. All of our classes are running 4 courses throughout these 3 days of racing for finals. Yesterday, everybody ran at least one, and then several of our classes, youth and stock and VIN, we were able to go ahead and run 2 courses for them as well. So that's why we'll be on course 3 for some classes today, like we are right now for the stock class, and then we'll be back on course 2 for some of our other classes. And this is Coy Chapel out on the course now.
Mr. Coy Chapel. I told him we pronounced his name out 4 different ways yesterday. We were trying to church it up for him.
Poor Coy.
He was laughing. He was like, I like it. He's like, I'm here for it. He had a second place run yesterday?
So when there's a lot of communication over radios, it kind of ends up like the telephone game, you know? And at one point, his name was said as Coy Chappelle on the radio.
Yes.
And boy, did it stick.
Yes.
It stuck.
It did.
And it is, in fact, Coy Chapel.
Yes.
But now we joke a little, and I'm like, when he's feeling fancy.
Yes, feeling
it's
fancy.
Coy Chappelle.
You know, he's on the podium. It's definitely Chappelle.
Yeah.
And he said he's been called everything. Coy, Clay, Cow. He said, you name it, I've been called it. So he said, however you guys, whatever you say, I'm here for it. He's a great dude. Had a great day. Like I said, I think he said he finished yesterday second.
He had a third on both hills yesterday, a third-place finish. So definitely a really great, solid day of racing for Coy yesterday. And with an 8:09.378, definitely starting out strong today, too. That is our current fastest time right now for course 3.
Ooh, buddy. Doing well.
Right now it's Coy with an 89, then Braden with a 99, Jay with a 107, and Dan Carter with a 116.
And then a guy that's going to try to upset that apple cart is Mr. Brandon Davis hitting the starting gate. Got that new wrap on there looking good. Justin gives him the go-ahead. On the little Can-Am that could.
Oh, it's the little Can-Am that can now. That thing got a makeover.
The little Can-Am that can. Say that 3 or 4 times fast.
It's too early for that. Not enough caffeine yet.
Not enough. You're caffeine-free right now. A little Spree Light. Again, Brandon and this Can-Am have just absolutely dominated. His maintenance program is definitely very impressive. And when he went to this new chassis, we were asking him, like, so how did the new chassis handle? He's like, it's great. We can turn left now. You know, I'm like, wait, what? He said, yeah, he had to weld the chassis back together 3 or 4 different times after runs. And he said, yeah, he got to where it wouldn't want to turn left very well.
That's why now it was the little Can-Am that could. Now it's the little Can-Am that can. And Brandon had a kind of a mixed bag yesterday in the stock class. He had a 6th place finish on course 1, but a 1st place finish on course 2.
Heck yeah.
So it is kind of anybody's guess how the stock class is going to shake out for Brandon this weekend. But that was a great run for course 3.
That's an 88.306, our new leader. Woo!
All right, I think he hit his stride.
Yeah, there you go.
After course 1, he just had to get calibrated.
Cheryl gave him a little extra energy in that drink this morning. She's like, here, drink this. You'll have a great day.
All right, we've got Dylan Dowler on the line now. Dylan had a 1st place finish on course 1, a 2nd place finish on course 2 yesterday. So a great day of racing for him. He came into the weekend 3rd in points overall for the stock class. I don't have updated points from yesterday for stock class right in front of me, but let's see if I can go pull that up.
Again, Dylan has been just really smooth and consistent all season. Definitely having great runs.
Yeah, he came into the weekend 3rd in the Cup class as well. All right, I don't have those points for stock from yesterday right in front of me. I got some of the other classes for later though, so. try and keep you guys updated as we go here. Of course, it's with 3 days of racing and so many classes and runs being made over that time.
Yeah, we have a very
points
very,
get skewed very quickly.
Very, very packed weekend. And our crowd is slowly growing each day, each hour, getting bigger and more packed in. And we were, me and some buddies were talking last night about how Saturday is going to be bananas. Like, you'll have to get here at 4 a.m. to get a good seat.
Whoa, Dylan, come on. Another example of the ruts out here causing problems. 95.404. Not a bad run. That's a third-place run right now. But that little bobble at the end definitely cost him a little bit. So, I don't know. With that first and second-place finish from yesterday, though, he'll still be sitting strong. Looks like Brantley Havens now in that race line starting gate.
Brantley out there just sending it.
Oh! We didn't need that spare tire anyway.
Listen, we do a little weight reduction for race cars, okay? He's like, we don't need a stinking spare.
Who was in charge of tying that down?
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right, so I think he made a wrong turn, but he realized it and corrected himself here. There we go. It gets a little confusing out here, you know?
It does.
There's a lot of turns.
Especially when you're racing multiple classes or multiple courses again, and you're using kind of the same terrain, the same area, and you're weaving in and out all weekend.
It's a lot to keep track of, for sure.
It is. And that's coming from an adult that gets lost sometimes. Do we turn here? You just stop and look for the cameraman to point this way. You're like, oh, thanks.
You're like, which banner was I supposed to go around?
It's true.
And Brantley, as Matt said, for an adult, it's even difficult.
Yes.
But Brantley is our youngest driver in the stock class. He graduated from our youth class. He raced with that the past couple seasons, raced with us in that group the past couple seasons. Oh, come on, Brantley. Stay with it.
Get it, buddy. Yeah. He's like, hey, there's my tire.
He's like, wait, that looks familiar.
That's a 124.729.
Well done, Brantley. And, you know, I got to give him props because he has finished all 3 courses so far. And at least half of our drivers have had a DNF on at least one course. So well done to Brantley for being able to get all 3 of those finishes under his belt. And thank you to Cheryl Davis.
They're amazing.
For breakfast.
We're getting our course clear. Getting Brantley Havens' tire roll back off the course. All right, clock is hot.
Cody Kaysen on the line. Cody, the undisputed points leader, coming into the weekend with a 110-point lead. He had a second place finish yesterday on course 1, a 4th place finish on course 2.
And this will be our last stock vehicle for the morning. And again, Cody just is just a magician with this stock vehicle. And you see him do well here, and then he takes that same vehicle typically and goes and races Cup with it. And it's absolutely bananas how well he does in Cup class. And again, I'm a little jealous, if I'm being honest, of how well he does in Cup with a full body rig. Just super smooth. Almost seems careless. Almost just seems like, His
dad was telling me last night what Cody really likes is to just come out here and hang out and be around everybody. And the racing is just, second to that. But like you said, it's like he almost isn't even trying that hard.
No.
But then he goes and lays down a 7.8.366. Wow. And that is 10 seconds faster than our current leader right now.
Wow.
Did I hear that right, Clyde? Seven 8.366.
All right.
Wow, well done,
While
Cody.
we get these times sorted, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back right after these messages.
Hello, everybody. We're here at Winrock Park in East Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
We are looking forward to an awesome weekend of racing.
Oh, there he goes! Oh, my goodness! Oh, no!
I think you just roosted our drone.
Whoa, my goodness!
It's wild on the hill.
Wow! Oh, man!
Made it work.
Go, 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 go! There we go! Yes! Oh, my goodness! Wow!
What a wild run from Clayton Smith.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
All right, guys, let me give you that rundown from Course 3 for our stock class. Cody Gayson, man, he definitely took the lead with a 78, followed by Brandon Davis with an 88, and then we had Coy Chappell with an 89, Dylan Dowler with a 95, Braden Upchurch with a 99, Jay Stortz with a 107, and Brantley Havens with a 124. And no DNFs on course 3. So
guys are being a little more timid, or they're just being a little bit better racer today. Again, we had some kind of
they just turned up the talent.
They just turned up the talent a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, again, we talked about those ruts kind of pushing you where they wanted you to, and so sometimes it's kind of hard to gauge. Am I dropping down? Am I starting to roll, or is that just a big rut there? So, and when you're running a 28-inch tire that in a 48-inch rut, like that's a little bit harder to gauge sometime. Is this just going to drop off and glide down, or am I going to roll over? So I think everybody's had enough time to watch.
Feeling it out a little better.
Either experience a rollover or watch rollover and go, okay, hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I hear some VIN class vehicles pulling up.
All right, and this is course 3 for the VIN class as well. Kenneth Cozine on the line. Charles Caris was yesterday's winner of VIN class. I think Wyatt Wilson won most entertainment points. If you did not see the VIN class yesterday, Make sure you go back and watch that. It was definitely a high entertainment value.
Yes, and again, we love our VIN class. They have the best fun per dollar, I think, out there.
And this is Kenneth Cozine making his way around the course. We have been used to seeing him in a bouncer, not usually in the VIN class, and I think he's got a new one in the works, got a new buggy coming. But in the meantime, why not jump in another class and still get out here and having fun?
Yeah, and I think he has fun, and no matter what he races, it's just you don't feel bad tearing up a $500 Cherokee, Oh, I'm hearing he has stock razor tires on this.
Tires.
Wow, that's good times.
What?
Yeah, I feel like that's a testament to the razor tires. Like,
He's already gotten way further than he did yesterday.
these guys are just sending it. They're having a good time.
Yesterday on course 1, at least I should say.
Yeah.
We had 2 DNFs on course 1, and they both stopped in the exact same spot pretty much. Oh, man. These ledges are
for real.
a little rough. As always, objects on camera are steeper than they appear. And the clearance is not really there in the VIN class. But Kenneth is making it work.
No.
Look at that custom paint job on the hood.
Yeah. It's like they started spray painting, they ran out of paint. And they're like, you know what, it's gone.
It's good enough.
Yeah. Again, Kenneth's always down there having a good time, hanging out. Great guy. A lot of fun to goof around with. We have a good time. Good times always had.
All right, I think he's got it.
That's a 143.220 for Mr. Kenneth Cozine in the VIN class. He was our first racer in the VIN class. What's up, Dan and Rachel Bowman? Tony Clifton. What's up, Craig? Got Charles Chris down there, his XJ. Shout out to High Octane Films. Charles out there repping it. I think he would hear filming. He's like, hey, I got a Cherokee. I could come on and do that. And he usually does a pretty good job putting on a show.
He's been dominating the VIN class.
I've heard his rev
all
limiter
season.
A lot. That's just
yeah, we are well familiar with that sound.
That Jeep 4.0 6-cylinder is just right, like you
There
hear it right
it
now.
is.
Run, mom, mom. You love it, you know. It's just a good time. Again, the smiles per gallon, if you will, I think are just definitely replicated in this class. Again, I think he also went with the rear door weight reduction plan there.
Is that what that is?
That is for ventilation to keep that radiator cool.
That's a custom plan right there.
Yeah. Some of the bigger high horsepower motors have to keep keep the radiators cool. So it's more of a weight reduction / airflow type procedure, I think. We all know a guy with an XJ. Charles just made it like an art form. He's like, I'm going to take it and just make it awesome. Like, make XJs awesome again, you know? .550 for Charles, because that is our new leader in the VIN class. But will it be our fastest Cherokee? That's the question. We got Wyatt Wilson coming up. I heard on the chatter they were trying to get it started, and they said they've never
Something about some screwdrivers?
Never seen screwdrivers do so much work. And I'm like, are they trying to jumpstart the starter?
With no actual screws around.
Yeah, yes. With no screws around. Yeah, I like it. And then we got Justin Holback. Oh, there's definitely some screws loose over there in the pit area. And it's not limited to our VIN class. I think there's a handful in each class. I'm also one of those racers that I would put in that category. There we go. Again, that's a great shot right there. You can see a handful of people working on it. The hood's open. But you also see a sea of vehicles. We got bouncers, we have VIN class, we have Cup Series, we have a limited class, we have our stock class. So you see a plethora there of all types of vehicles for all of our classes. And again, you can see drivers hanging out. Some guys are looking at the course. Some guys are chatting strategy. It's definitely a good time, and we appreciate all the love that all of our drivers get to show to each other. It's just an awesome time. It's just a good time.
A great shot of the pits and everybody gathering around trying to help a fellow racer.
And again, you see guys all hanging out, having a good time. You see cameramen down there, media people. Again, shout out to Bub Meadows. He's our Addictive Photography. He is our official photographer this season. We appreciate him and all he does for us. Again, you can see a handful of drivers down there working at different rigs, checking things out, checking things over. We've got a lot of drivers looking at the course. So we appreciate all of our drivers and all they do for each other. I, being a guy who's gotten help from
I think everybody has gotten help from somebody at some point. And we've talked about it before, but, I mean, it's one of the things that make this sport special and I think sets it apart from many other sports or hobbies is the camaraderie involved. And yes, everybody is competitive, and yes, it's a race and everyone wants to win and wants to, have that competitive edge. But at the end of the day, we're all friends too. We're hanging out, you're helping work on something, you're swapping tools and parts and running to the store or getting something out of your trailer, whatever it is, or feeding somebody.
Yes, feeding someone.
I always appreciate that.
Yes. I love the snacky snacks as much as the next child,
So the camaraderie is definitely there. And
yes.
For me, being in this sport and part of this series for over a dozen years now, I mean, that's really what makes it special and what I think keeps people coming back and keeps people new people, with seeing that and wanting to come in and be part of that race family too. So we are going to run to a quick commercial break, guys, and when we get back, we will give you those results and head on to our next round.
So we were a sponsor of SRRS in 2012, the first year, and we built our product to the racers. They had a need, and we had a solution. They were breaking parts, breaking axles, and we were able to build the strongest axles on the planet for them. We developed the Big Bell CV over that period of time as well, which is the 40 spline, 47 spline stuff that you see in a majority of the rock bouncers. And we've also developed UTV for the UTV buggies and the stock class racers. We've got product for that as well. So we've really utilized this racing to develop and work with these guys the best product available. So over the years, we've worked really closely with drivers like Tim Cameron. He's been very helpful helping us develop this product line for the UTV, the rock bouncer, and he's been quite successful himself doing the racing, as well as a ton of others. We couldn't be here without these guys testing our product and doing these things, pushing us to the limit to help them push them to the limit.
All right, we are back again. We're in the middle of our VIN class trying to get a Cherokee running. It looks like, I don't know if we've given up hope or it's running now and they're getting a pull to the line.
The hood's down, so I don't know what that means.
What's funny is, okay, we don't hear it. Okay, it's running. Here we go. Justin Holback says, I don't hear it, so I don't think it's running. He's like, what's running? We got it, I promise. What's funny is yesterday, Charles Chris was staying next to him, and Charles Chris was getting tools out so they could work on it together, which made me so happy to be like, Charles Chris, your fellow competitor is helping get your vehicle running so you can go out and race. It was a good time.
Hey, that's what we're here for, especially in the VIN class.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, if you guys missed yesterday's race, and be sure to go back and watch it. All of our classes had some really great racing action, but there was definitely an extra entertainment value with Wyatt Wilson out on the course yesterday.
Yes. I
expect the same from him today. We're on course 3 for the VIN class. This is Wyatt Wilson taking off.
I think are both headlights gone? I know the front bumper's gone. We have a headlight that was dangling yesterday. The back bumper looks pretty rough in itself. Again, Wyatt Wilson out there just having a blast. Again, just out there having a blast. You got to appreciate the that 4.0 life.
Come on.
Although it doesn't sound real good right now. It is still.
Oh, this thing is.
I was going to say it is still climbing,
it's
but
hurting.
Yeah. Yesterday he got a little lost. I think partly
he definitely got lost. I heard him say in the drivers' meeting today about yesterday. He was like, "Man, I just kept going around. I figured if I just tried to hit every part of the course, eventually I'd get it right."
Yeah. He's like, if I cover it all, regardless of order, I think I still get points.
I think he did a whole extra lap yesterday, and ended up wedged into that.
True.
In one of the downhill sections.
It's like trying to stick 2 bear claws. You get us stuck right here. That's a pretty rough section for a stock-ish vehicle.
It definitely is. And, of course...
Oh!
There's a better view. It'll give you an idea of how steep it is. So, yesterday, he went straight ahead and continued down. Oh. What's he doing? There it is. I think he's supposed to turn to the right there. He made it.
Actually, a pretty smooth run today.
128.593, and that is a second place time for our VIN class, course 3. That does wrap up VIN class round 3. Charles Chris had the fastest time with a 1:03, then Wyatt Wilson with a 1:28, and Kenneth Cozing with a 1:43. And we are ready to move on. Let me flip the page here. All right, guys, we are ready for course 2 of our Super Grip UTV Cup class. Cody Kaysen is on the line, ready to start things off for us. Let's see what happens. Cody repping the bright blue helmet.
Yeah, it's definitely
make him easy to spot.
Easy to spot. That new cage looking good. Wow, he is sending it right now. Just ripping it. It's just impressive to see what he does in a full body in the Cup Series class.
Definitely. And I feel like his driving style is like, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. And
yeah.
And then whether he does well or not, it's like, that's okay because he's still going to get to hang out with friends. And
I feel like that's exactly word for word he say, too. I'm just going to go for it and see what happens.
And it usually works out pretty well for him.
It does.
I think we'll see more from him in this full body rig in the stock class next season.
Yeah. He is flying. That's a 73.698. That is our first time But will it stick?
That was a very solid run, though.
Yes, very smooth. Will it stick? I know a guy who doesn't want it to stick is this guy right behind him, Cooper Bentley. Cooper Bentley's going to try to hammer down.
Cooper Bentley had a second-place time yesterday on course 1, and he came into the weekend yesterday with a 4th place overall in points. So I'm looking at our points real quick. Yesterday, I'll give you guys an update. Our top 5 did not change for the Cup class. Everybody just basically added to the points they had, and it didn't change position for anyone. So Tim Cameron, Clay Kaysen, Dylan Dowler are your top 3 in points in Super Grip UTV Cup class right now. But, man, Cooper, this is not good for him.
They're saying they think he broke a ball joint.
Cooper had 16 points over Casey Howell coming into today.
Wow.
So this DNF, depending on how things go for Casey, and then Cody was in 6th place spot with, 712 points behind him. So, I don't know, guys. We have to see how it all shakes out. Definitely hate to see that for Cooper. When you make it to finals and you're in the top 5, obviously you've been working hard all season. You've been consistent. You've been collecting those points, and not only have you been racing consistently, but to get to that point, you've got to be committed to. I mean, you're doing the travel.
Yeah.
You're putting in the time, the effort, the money, the work in the shop, and all of that to make it to this point and be in the top 5 in any of these classes racing. So I always hate getting to finals and seeing the DNFs, and it's definitely sad because, all the work that goes into it to get to this point. Yeah,
and again, I think you kind of hit the nail on it. A lot of people see the time. They see the guys out there working the buggy here, checking air pressure, putting fuel in. What they don't see is all the maintenance that goes in behind the scenes, all the panels that come off.
Definitely.
You get home, you pull all the panels off, you start checking ball joints, you start checking tie rod ends, and you start looking at bolts to see what's loose, what's tight, if you have a nut that backed off. Some guys are tearing apart motors or transmissions to check things during our summer break. Doing that maintenance, pulling drive shafts out. I know Wade Good used to pull his diff covers off after every race to check ring and pinions, front and rear ring and pinions, and they would check them out, look them all over, and he would change out anything that was chipped, cracked, broken. That way he could stay in that competitive points hunt, and helps keep that maintenance program going. And it's just it's just so tight racing that you have to be that aggressive with your maintenance.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it for sure. The behind the scenes.
Yeah. You hate to see that DNF for somebody who worked so hard and doing so well for the season. You hate to see that DNF for Mr. Cooper Bentley, but was able to get it off the course. So shout out to Cooper. He'll see it there. And then we got Brandon Davis coming out of that race line starting gate, getting that new wrap on there. Also got a new chassis in the Cup Series car. We used to see him racing the Can-Am both classes. This is a Can-Am drivetrain, but it is a new skinny pedal chassis. Shout out to Jonathan Shepard. I know we talk a lot about him for our Skinny Pedal Award for all the guys who go out there and send it hard. But he does also make really cool buggies and cars. He's working on a trophy truck, all-wheel drive, like four-wheel steer, like crazy looking trophy truck right now.
He makes some super creative stuff at
he does.
Skinny Pedal Fab.
It's been everything he makes is like really cool. You want to go spend all your money on. You're like, here, just take it. Just take it. It's all the stuff you dream.
What can I get with this?
It is. It's like you sit around with your buddies in class when you're a little kid and dream up vehicles. He's the guy making those vehicles. So shout out to him. And this is Brandon Davis in the bouncer class. He is your season champion. We get to say that for one more day. And then tomorrow night we will crown our new season champion for our awards banquet.
There it is, up and over the race line rocks. They haven't caused too many problems for us so far this weekend, but in times past,
yes,
those have definitely been more of a difficult obstacle out here. So
and
interesting to see how things change
yeah,
over time.
Yeah.
We've been coming here racing at Wildcat for many years now. 87.119 for Brandon Davis.
Yeah, and speaking of those rocks, we had a lot of drivers were talking about how much washed out they had been underneath, and were really concerned they were going to be problems. And I don't think we've seen it be a problem yet all weekend. So when the UTVs were skipping over and the bouncer guys were like, oh, well, we have a way bigger tire. Well, it's no problem for us. So, again, I tried to go more up higher, closer to the flag and the weeds. That we got a little smoother run there. But I don't think we've seen anybody have trouble with them yet.
No, it's been the more unexpected areas
really,
that have been causing the problems. David Darnell out on the course now. Speaking of, David was unfortunately a victim of the donkey kick on the hill over there. Just tipped him right over on course 1 yesterday. Right there. He got it figured out this time, though.
Yeah. You can see it's still tilted to that
it still was
passenger
it was
side
thinking
there.
about it. He said, not today.
Shout out to all our fans up on the hill tuning in. We had a great crowd packing in yesterday. I see even more side-by-sides and easy-ups parked out there on the course. They actually made like a big stair step in the hill.
All right, so David actually took a wrong turn up the hill. See if somebody can wave him down so he can correct his course.
Does have a smooth run going, though.
He does.
I mean, the buggy looks good, handling well. I like the purple and black chassis.
Well, he got a time of 99.134.
Yes.
He did make a wrong turn going up the hill.
Up the hill?
So I'm not sure how that's going to play into his day of racing here.
Usually what they'll do is if you make a wrong turn, they'll try to stop you before you finish, and that way you can correct it. With there being so many uphill sections and so many classes racing, they might go to the drivers and say, hey, listen, he took a wrong turn at this flag, but it's actually harder. If it's harder,
probably about the same distance.
If it's actually, say, the same distance or longer, or it's a harder area, they'll usually let it go. Again, this is Clay Kaysen coming out the starting gate in 4:01. Okay, and again, I think,
Clay had our fastest time on course 1 yesterday, and he came into the weekend second in points. And is still in that second place position in points after yesterday's racing.
He is, absolutely flying on the side of the hill and doing some almost acrobatics with this buggy right now. Shout out to Clay. He comes up here a lot of times during my runs in the bounce class. Comes up and does some impromptu sports casting. So we appreciate him and all he does for the series.
Yeah, Clay is our guest commentator.
Yeah, and does a great job at it. It's kind of neat to see some insight of different people when you hear them on the microphone. Ooh, kind of crab walking those ruts. This is going to be a quick time. That's a 71.703 for Clay Kaysen, and that is our new fastest time.
That was a smoking run.
Just squeaking out his brother.
Got his little brother by 2 seconds.
With a 73, yeah. Man. You think they talk about that in the truck on the way home? Like,
yeah.
I can't believe you beat me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got Mr. D.C. Thompson up on the line.
D.C. had a third-place finish yesterday. Very solid run from him.
Again, DC doing has made his last several chassis for UTV class has made himself. Does a great job, and that way you kind of design the suspension the way you want, get everything dialed in. Plus, it helps with visibility. A lot of times, visibility is very important in this class. They want to be able to see out and see what they're doing. And again, DC, you have great visibility. You can kind of see the tires. You can see what's going on. Ooh. So being able to see where you're going and what the suspension doing is super key there. Again, DC also racing our bouncer class this weekend as well. So it's awesome to see him in the UTV class and racing the bouncer. So kind of doing double duty this weekend as well.
Yeah, it's been fun to see DC in the big bouncer. No, that was a long time in the works for him.
See me finish that whole course?
I did. Yeah, yes. Wyatt Wilson jumping to the booth was here, saying that not only did he finish the course, he did it the correct way this time. Wyatt coming out, putting on a show this weekend. DC.
$85.520 for DC Thompson.
DC getting a good finish there.
That is a third place time currently on course 2 for the Super Grip UTV Cup class. We are not quite halfway through. Or I guess we're right at about halfway right now. Dan Carter is on the line.
This new chassis, Dan has done very well in it. I think he feels very, very comfortable in it. He just right out the gate. They unveiled this red, white, and blue little America chassis at the Rush Off-Road Park in Rush, Kentucky.
Gives
brought
you
it out.
extra horsepower,
It does. It does. And Dan immediately just took a great liking to it. It feels comfortable. It looks good. It looks great. He is just blasting through this course right now. Again, you can check out Dan. He does a great job on his social media, keeping everybody up to date. He does some fun stories, and they have some fun doing some editing with our highlight flyers for the events.
Oh, yeah, the whole Rock Life crew.
They get pretty ornery with it.
They're a good crowd to hang out with.
They are. They're good people. So speaking of Rock Life, you can go over and see Brian Dunling's here. So if you guys need parts this weekend, you can go see the Rock Life Off-Road crew over there. Get some parts for UTV. They have everything from like axle shafts to sunglasses. So whatever you need, they got you. There we go.
That's an 83.033 for Dan Carter, and that'll move him into third place currently. Clay Kaysen in the lead with a 71, followed by Cody Kaysen with a 73. And now Dan Carter with an 83, then DC Thompson with an 85, Brandon Davis with an 87, and then David Darnell had a 99. And we've got Martin Stewart now on the course running for Austin Connell.
This is a right-hand drive side by side.
does
Launching down there.
Martin, unfortunately, did have a DNF on course 1 yesterday, so I'm sure he and Austin will be glad to see him get across the finish line today. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, the Race Line Rocks almost got their first victim. There it is. $95.266 for Martin Stewart. We've got Casey Howell on the line now. Casey is 5th in points right now for our Super Grip UTV Cup class.
Casey had a great run with us yesterday. Again, has been setting courses on fire this season. Doing a great job. Very consistent and on the podium quite a few times.
Yeah, I know he had a few issues working through with the buggy, and then that has definitely kind of hit his stride and had a lot of those consistent runs, like you said. Casey also races our bounty class and is second. Came into the weekend second in points in the bounty class and also won the bounty class at our last event at Indian Mountain. So having a very good season all around for both the classes he's been racing in.
And having a smooth run today as well. Give that buggy. He is flying through there, just doing work. And we've seen a lot of guys whip that corner and pretty much never lift as they're heading down that straightaway to the finish line.
Ooh.
And that was a 7:0.835, and our new fastest time,
nicely done.
Second faster than Clay Kaysen.
What a run from Casey Howell. Nicely done, sir.
So Casey had a 70, Clay Kaysen had a 71, and Cody Kaysen had a 73. That is your top three, literally separated by 4 seconds right now.
This is Nathan King on the course. He is running for Matt Myrick's points this weekend. The old General Lee.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Getting a little airtime there. I didn't get to see Jake, not Jake Pike. We were talking about Jake last night. Nick Reich, not Jake Pike. We were talking about Nick Reich's run. We watched our Rock Racing TV, our Speed Sport 1 show last night.
I hope you guys were able to catch that airing on Speed Sport 1 last night.
And we got to watch his run, and then we saw Bub Meadows' photo of Nick. Literally, the whole buggy's in the air, straight vertical on a wheelie. It was very, very cool. So seeing Nathan King out there wheeling kind of reminded me of that.
There's plenty of wheeling action out here.
There really is.
Mickey Thompson mountainside this weekend.
And Nathan, I think, likes to wheelie. I think that's kind of his happy place. Again, we've seen several of the side-by-sides crab walk that, but obviously slowing down considerably just so they don't tip over as you're cornering on a hill with ruts. Like, that's a very treacherous place to be. Just ripping through there.
What? 70.804. That is our new leader by what? Like
Hundredth
300ths
of a second?
Casey Howell.
Wow.
All right, here's how we stand. I'm just going to give you top 5 now.
That's crazy.
Nathan King with a 70.804. Casey Howell with a 70.835. Clay Kaysen with a 71.
Wow.
Cody Kaysen with a 73. And then I think
Cody.
it was Dan Carter with an 83.
I thought Casey and Clay, with being 1 second apart, was fast.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Alston Tidwell out on the course now. All right, everybody tuning in online, thanks for joining us here on Hillside Live. We are most of the way through Course 2 of the Super Grip UTV Cup class. We've got a couple drivers left after Alston's run. Thanks for joining us here on the show. If you missed yesterday's racing action, of course, you can go back and catch that on the Rock Racing TV Facebook and YouTube pages, channels, whatever they are. And today is day 2 of 3 of racing here at finals at Wildcat in East Bernstadt, Kentucky. And I would like to know, where are you guys all watching from today? You chilling at home? You sneaking in a little race watching time at work?
Yes. Being Friday.
Are you on the road?
Kurt Haven's tuning in. Charles Chris tuning in. What's up, guys?
We know where Charles is.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate Dustin tuning in on our YouTube channel. Said he's tuning in from a track hoe at work. That's a pretty great place to be, right?
Nice. Solid run from Alston Tidwell.
That was a 102.741 from Mr. Alston Tidwell. Again, nice smooth run there.
Matt, I would say he did well.
Wow. Wow. I tell you.
Too early?
It's no.
It's never too early.
Never too early.
For a good little
Nope.
little pun.
This next guy needs no introduction. That black and neon green just pokes out there. Mr. Tim Cameron.
Timmy is leading in points in the Cup class currently. Clay Kaysen not too far behind him.
Look, Christy Wills tuning in. What's up, the Wills family? I know she has to be at work right now. Cliff said watching from Lumber Bridge, North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina and all the stuff they're going through right now.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Our thoughts and prayers are with all those people right there. Steve said City Grove, Ohio. Oh, Chad Molitor tuning in.
Well, look at that.
Look at that. Yeah, he's definitely watching from the office, I'm sure.
He is watching from the chiropractor getting traction on the table. That was probably the most interesting one we've gotten so far.
Timmy kind of crab walking those ruts. Seen a lot of people going up there taking their time.
Work. The time to beat right now is a 70.804 from Nathan King. Let's see what we got. 75.666 for Tim Cameron. And I think that he's got enough of a points lead in the Cup class that if yesterday's run and today's are any indication, he's not going to be pushing real hard. Just kind of
playing it safe.
Yep, playing it safe. Just just rolling on through.
Yeah,
letting everybody else be the ones to push real hard.
Maybe a break, maybe roll over.
Yep.
That way you can lock down that number 1 spot for the season. Christy said, yes, don't tell my doctor I'm working with. Ha, ha, ha.
Ooh, your secret's safe with us.
Yeah, we won't tell nobody. Just everyone in the live feed. Nobody knows.
The internet doesn't count.
Yes.
It's not real people, right?
Yes.
Internet lives matter, too.
Brian Bebo Watt said he's tuning in from the Kinser Chassis in Louisville, Tennessee. Thanks for bringing us live feed. Thank you, Brian. Brian is helpful with the Bouncer Life Facebook group. So if you guys need parts, if you need advice, if you want to know about some cool events going on, hop over there. They'll take care of you.
Dylan Dowler on the course now. Dylan is third in points for the Cup class. He had a fourth-place finish on course 1 yesterday.
Riding a wheelie out the top. So did Nathan King do that too. So what is it, orange chassis? He's got to ride wheelies?
And that's where David Darnell got tipped over yesterday. That's just a tricky spot. Dylan is not dilly-dallying.
He is not dilly-dallying. Laura Grigg said, watch from North Carolina. Go Chris Grigg. Vince said he's tuning in from his recliner in Stockbridge, Georgia. What's up, y'all?
That sounds pretty nice.
I love it. That's about the best place to tune in from. Get some snacky stacks. Kick your feet up in the lazy boy. We got a TEGAR tuning in from Indonesia, watching rock bouncing with us today on the YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, I'm not. Tiger.
Don't hurt yourself, Matt. 74.424 for Dylan Dowler, and that does wrap up course 2 for the Super Grip UTV Cup class. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'll have that top 5 lineup for you guys.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerply XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
Oh my goodness, he neutral dropped it. Just hops up there.
Walk it right on
Just
up
hops
there.
it right up. Oh no!
I think he just roosted our drone.
Oh, there he goes! Oh my goodness! Whoa!
Oh, this is
Literally riding a wheelie.
drive.
Get back on the wheels. Yes! Stuck the landing. Wow. Launching out the top. Whoa!
Oh!
No!
Hit wild on the hill. All right, guys, let me give you that top 5 from course 2 for the Cup class. Nathan King had the fastest time with a 70.804, followed very closely by Casey Howell with a 70.835. Then we had Clay Kaysen with a 71, Cody Kaysen with a 73, and Dylan Dowler with a 74. Those were your top 5 from course 2 for the Super Grip UTV Cup class. That means we are ready to keep rolling.
Yeah. Still got 2 more courses left, so even though they've had 2 courses so far this weekend, they still have 2 more to go. Lots of racing. It can be anybody's game. When you throw in a fast time or a DNF, things completely change. So we had people last night asking us, so where am I standing for the weekend? I'm like, I don't have that in front of me.
I have no idea.
I'm like, you did a good job, though.
Yeah,
good job.
Good job, guys.
Good job.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
We'll figure it all out at the
Yes,
end.
good job. You did a good job.
We are ready for course 2 of UTV Bounty class. I think we've got Josh Krapinski on the line.
And speaking of Josh Krapinski, that is my feature driver Friday.
Yeah, you guys might have. We're a little dark on camera right now, but I'm repping Brady McCreath. It is feature driver Friday, and we had a few drivers to finish out the season with. We wanted to try and fit everybody in. So you guys might see a few T-shirt changes from us today because we want to try and rep everybody that we can. So we got Brady McCreath and Josh Krapinski right now.
Got to hang out with Josh. Josh is a great dude. Love hanging out with him.
Yep.
It's a really awesome logo on the front and then a huge logo on the back. Very cool
the
colors.
Back is cool.
Got us buggy on there. Anytime I see a buggy on a T-shirt, I'm like, that's cool. Like, I don't even know what it is. Like, I like it, you know. So
we are happy to rep all of our drivers, and we appreciate the merch and the opportunity to.
It's like a
guys.
toddler. You're like, car? Like, I like it. It's cool. You know.
Oh.
So again, being the son of a car dealer, I appreciate all vehicles. There's times we've been like
Matt does not discriminate.
We've been to lowrider events. You know, I've seen some guys with vehicles that maybe aren't necessarily my cup of tea. But you can definitely appreciate the craftsmanship that goes into seeing when you see a guy, chop up his frame and make it so it slam to the ground, and you see the craftsmanship that goes into it and the ingenuity there, and then he has like shaved door handles and all the cool features they have. You can really, really respect that, even though it maybe isn't my cup of tea. You can definitely appreciate all the craftsmanship that goes into it, all the time and the labor, so that when they see a rock bouncer, we took a few years ago back when I had the Joe Dirt Buggy, we went to the Hot Rod Power Tour. And we pull up, and obviously you have, like, these beautiful cars, muscle cars and stuff, and they all drive it's like an 8-day car show, and each day you're in a different state. Very cool.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's like you go across the United States. So it's the Hot Rod Power Tour. So you do a car show, and then you travel at nighttime. The next day you do another car show. Very cool. You do, like, 8 states over, like, 7 days or whatever. Very, very, very neat. And then we did just one show in Springfield, Illinois. We took the rock bouncer. My dad took this big blower motor car over there. And people would flock to my vehicle, and all the old guys, it was almost all of them came up and said the same thing. They're like, man, this is neat. And then the next thing on their mouth was, what is it? Like,
But, like, it's got tires and a motor.
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
And you can see, like, the big headers. You can see the big tires. They're like, do you do mud? Is it an obstacle course? Is it rocks? Like, and we're like,
yes.
We do that all. Typically, it's more of an obstacle course. We race the National Rock Racing Association. It's a 10-race cup series. Then we have finals at the end. So we have 9 regular races, finals at the end, which is multiple days of racing. So I said it's kind of a, we do a little of everything. We do some mud. We have some rocks. We have some trails. We have some trees. Yeah, this year, unfortunately.
Mostly mud this year.
It's been a lot of more mud than we like. But it kept the dust down. We couldn't complain about dust this year.
This is true.
Unfortunately, at some of the races. So, yeah, it's havoc on the production crew and equipment, not just the people, but also cameras and cables and all kinds of things, antennas. But it has been a really awesome season.
You got to be tough to roll with this crew, whether you're a piece
of
camera equipment or a person.
Or a person.
The trailer. A vehicle,
the trailer,
whatever it is.
We've had the trailer catch on fire before. Like,
you're not going to last long if you're not tough.
You got to be tough to be in this sport. Yeah, we have some very rugged staff. I shout out to all of our staff. They do a great job. They're on the course a lot of times, dodging rocks. Bill was dodging vehicles yesterday. You got to appreciate all the staff, the hard work they put in, the dust to eat, the mud.
If you're going to go race, you got to be tough.
Yeah, it is. It is true. They sometimes just eat little snacky snacks on the hill throughout the day. So they do brave out a lot of work. They do a great job for us. We appreciate our – yeah. You got to be tough, yeah.
All right, what are we waiting on here?
Yep.
All right, we got we're cameraman
moving.
He's on the move.
Yes, we also have 2 camera womans working this weekend with us,
and we are especially grateful because we don't have a drone up today.
Yes.
So we're especially grateful to our camera folks for manning all day long and standing out there and making sure they get the shot to bring you guys all the action here on Hillside Live. We are going into UTV Bounty next, so I'll go ahead and tell you we only had a top 3 rundown from yesterday.
Wow.
That was all we had finished. Nathan King had the fastest time with a 1:18, and then Casey Howell with a 1:30, and Nathaniel Bell with a 1:35. That was from yesterday, course 1. We had 3 finishes and 3 DNFs.
3 finishes and 3 DNFs, which shows
That's
how
pretty typical
difficult.
for Bounty.
Yeah, Bounty
Yeah.
is brutal. And again, I say this all the time. Bounty, I always have a lot of respect for these guys just because they are doing the same course at the Rock Bouncer with a much, much smaller tire, a lot less horsepower. So I really have to give it to our drivers that they get out and just thrash through this course. And usually they do pretty well. It's surprisingly for the vehicle they're driving.
Yep.
So, and then that means after UTV Bounty, we're kicking off Bouncers, which will be a very, very good time today.
Taylor, speaking of bouncers, can we roll your highlight reel from some of yesterday's action?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's talk behind it. I like it. Let's just send it. We'll talk.
Send it.
We'll send it. That's what most of these drivers did. They just sent it. Some did not at all.
All right, this was Clayton Smith yesterday.
And tried to.
Wait, there's more.
Little Bobby Tanner, bring it back on all fours. Yeah.
There was Nick Wright's wheelie.
Literally riding a wheelie.
Hey, Matt, who's that?
Landed, and again, right back in the gas. So it's a good time. And then this was pretty violent as well.
Boom.
Yeah, something's still not right on the steering. We'll figure that out later.
Is that when you broke your transmission?
I don't know. I broke my transmission in half yesterday. So we're I called my transmission RJ last night at SNS Transmission. Called him, was like, this is what happened. What do I do? And he's like,
what happened was...
He's like, well, the good news is it's not under pressure. He's like, I was like, can I JB weld it? Like, can we just keep it together? I have 2 more courses on Saturday. I said, I probably can't race tomorrow, but if I can just get at least 1, maybe 2 courses on Saturday, I just need to keep the fluid in. Because what's crazy is we broke it. We didn't know, so we still finished the entire course and drove it back before we realized last night we had broke the transmission. So I'm like, it clearly still runs. Now, I don't know how much fluid was in it, and I did check it, but there was enough fluid in there that still looked normal.
Yeah.
So I was like, if I can just keep enough
you weren't leaving like a giant puddle, then...
No, and that's what we kept thinking.
Good.
I was like, I was kind of surprised because when we parked it, there wasn't like a massive puddle there. So, yeah. So hopefully we can Band-Aid enough just to get through a course tomorrow and then get home, tear it apart, and get it rebuilt. So, I mean, it's a stock case. We do have the Ultra Bell in the front for the bell housing, but it is a stock Turbo 400 case. So, at some point, we'll have to look at getting like a Reed transmission case that are just a lot more durable.
Yep.
They're mainly made to take the abuse. A lot of desert racers run them. A lot of Ultra 4
we run
guys.
a Reed case on the Avenger.
And that's kind of the way to go. It's, a lot more durable, and they kind of take all the failure points and build into them. So, listening to our EMT and our medical workers, making sure we're all set to go. Sounds like they're getting all that, making sure the course is clear, getting our cameraman and our camera ladies all positioned. Again, we have 6 UTV Bounty Series, and then we'll turn in and run a big bouncer, so getting everything lined up for that. And they do race the same course, so should be a pretty good time. Again, our starting gate looks like Justin's over there. Josh Krapinski for our feature driver Friday, sitting on the starting line.
Man, I'm looking over here at our spectator area and just got to, once again, give a thank you and shout out to Wildcat and all the staff here for working hard to get things ready for us, to host us here for finals. It's such a nice spectator-friendly area. You can see all this racing that's happening behind us. All the spectators, like, everybody can see from everywhere. They've got, like, levels cut into the hillside so everyone can put their easy up and still be able to see over the ones in front of them. So it's just a really great setup out here. The crowd is slowly building, and as we get up to this afternoon and then especially tomorrow, Saturday, I expect to see this whole area is just going to be full.
As people get off work, they're traveling here. I know a lot of people will take a half day or even work today and travel tonight, get here late tonight, and then tomorrow will be a packed-out house. So we appreciate everybody tuning in the live feed. Vince said he's having cold coffee and cookies. I like cookies. I'm not a coffee guy.
Is this like iced coffee? Or just your coffee got cold?
Like, yeah, sure, yeah.
Was this on purpose?
Yes. Yeah. Good
I
times.
don't think your body could handle coffee.
Yeah, I'm not. I've tried it. I've tried chais.
Like
I've tried lattes. I've tried
Chai's not
espressos. I've tried it all.
Chai is tea.
Okay, chai. I've tried all things coffee related.
I could make you a chai latte that you would like.
That's what everybody says.
It's not coffee.
And then I'm like, this tastes awful.
It's not coffee.
Okay.
I don't like coffee.
Okay. I hate
chai.
coffee. I tried it, and everybody's always like, oh no, let me try this fancy coffee drink you like. I don't.
No, I'm the same.
I
don't even like tiramisu because it tastes like coffee.
Hot chocolate. I love some hot chocolate. But that's as close as we get to coffee.
You would like my chai latte because it's not coffee.
Okay.
Chai is literally the word for tea.
Okay.
In India.
But it's made with milk, right? Chais are made with milk?
It's a latte.
Okay.
No, chai is tea. Anyway, we'll continue
what's the coffee
your
made with,
chai
what's the coffee made with
education
milk?
later.
What's that one?
A latte is made with milk.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, now we all know.
Yeah.
Matt and I will never be baristas.
Yes.
It's not the life for us. We'll rep some Red Bull, though.
I'll rock my Red Bull. Mountain Dew, Red Bull, hot chocolate. That's as close as I get to coffee.
Jason says, I need some coffee. No, I'm just trying to educate Matt on what a chai latte is.
Yeah, it's all coffee. It's all coffee.
It's not coffee.
Unless it's sweet tea, it's coffee.
It literally means tea. So when people say chai tea latte, fun fact, they're actually saying tea latte. And if you're in the Middle East and you say pita bread, pita means bread, so you're saying bread.
Yeah. Good times.
Little Friday morning wordplay, little education for you guys.
Good times.
This is what happens when we are live for too long. And there's not enough racing action for us to talk about.
We only had, it was like 14 hours of the last race.
Somebody start driving.
Good times.
Oh. How about our promo? How about our promo for Battle of the Bouncers?
Janet said, Bree needs some coffee, LOL. Yeah. What's up, Scotty Harden? We have racers that tuning into our show that I'm pretty sure are out on the hill right now watching.
Scotty, are you here right now? I haven't seen him, but he could be.
Laura Grigg. We had Chris Grigg, I think, tuning in yesterday as well. Getting the Wills crew in there. Talking to Justin on the way here.
All right, we're going to save. We do have a promo we want to share with you guys again for our event in November called Battle of the Bouncers, but we'll save that for later because it sounds like I think we finally got a course clear and are ready to start sending our UTV bounty class.
See Wade out there with his little race suit on.
His little race
suit on, doing some racing this weekend.
Oh, my goodness. It's only day 2, guys. We got to hold it together. All right. Josh Krapinski is going to kick off course 2 for the UTV bounty class. And since Matt is repping Josh today, I fully expect an awesome run here. Isn't that how it works? I feel like that's how it should work when you're featured driver Friday.
Hopefully comes out and makes a big statement, but not big enough to where he rolls over.
A positive big statement.
His iconic black with pink. And again, if you're thinking about going and calling Josh a sissy, I encourage you to do so. Because he's like 6'4" and about 260 pure muscle.
Who would think of calling Josh a sissy?
Yeah, he's
look at him handle that ledge up there.
He's a pretty swole fella.
Nicely done.
Again, you can see all of the drivers packed in right at that starting gate. Definitely watching that uphill section, seeing what he's doing. All right, we're hearing he did get a flag up there. Again, going down these big rocks. Again, Josh Krapinski is our featured driver Friday, one of our featured driver Fridays.
Yeah, one of them this weekend. Way to fit everybody in for finals. Getting after it up there. Man, I wish the camera showed the true steepness of this hill a little better. You guys are just going to have to take our word for it. The Mickey Thompson mountainside out here. Steeper than it looks. Come on, Josh. I think that's it.
There we go.
Nice. After yesterday's DNF, definitely glad to see that for him. It's the shirt, Matt.
It is.
Make all the difference. We are waiting on confirmation about the flag that Josh took out at the top of the hill. And then we'll get you guys that time.
We're trying to find out if you ran over it forward or backwards. Because if you back over a flag, it... Okay, he was backing up. Yeah.
All right, so he was backing up.
That's a 134.3122.
134.122 for Josh. No flag penalty because he was backing up. If you reverse over the flag, the penalty does not apply to it.
Because if you're backing up on course, chances are that's not an advantage.
You're not cutting course or,
if you're
causing trouble that way.
If you're backing up, that is not exactly what we call an advantage, okay? Things are not going well if you're backing up on a course. Nor are you gaining time advantages by backing up. So, I mean, I've yet to see it. I'm sure someday that will happen, but I have yet to see a guy who had to back up on course and have a time advantage that way.
And this is Nathan King on the line now. He's running for Robert Trainer's points today. Nathan did have the fastest time yesterday on course 1 in the Bounty class. This is round 2 for Bounty. It's definitely a lot to keep up with the 4 different courses and 3 different days of racing that we have going on right now. So try and keep it all as clear as we can for you guys. Keep you updated on points and standings and whatnot.
All right, clock is hot. Nathan King getting out there and ripping it. Again, this buggy is doing a lot of work this weekend. Racing UTV Cup Series and UTV Bounty Series. Just absolutely taking a beating.
These guys are just going right up that.
They did.
What used to be
a
difficult obstacle. Oh, no.
There it goes.
Okay. That's never a good feeling.
No.
The time to beat right now is a 1:34 from Josh Krapinski. I think we're going to see our new fastest time here.
He is flying.
Woohoo!
Wow.
97.089. But we're hearing that he may have made a wrong turn somewhere. We're listening to some radio chatter, guys, and then we'll update you on that situation.
Again, we send out maps in the season driver group to where you can see. Well, he's taken back off. So I think Nathan says, you know what?
It looks like somebody told him.
Hey, you forgot to go this way. So it may be a much longer time, but at least he can get a finish.
So he came down on the wrong side on his first run. Looks like he either realized it himself or somebody in the pits told him, and he's trying to go the correct way this time so that he doesn't get a DNF.
I saw his dad running over there. His dad might have said, hey. And again, this is not an easy course, regardless of route you take.
Is that not the way he went the first time? So that's a 2:17. Let me.
.292. I think is what he said.
2:17.292. Sorry about that confusion, guys. I'm sure Nathan's not real excited about the confusion either. Yeah. But he did at least get himself a time on the board.
And it's so funny to see. We have, again, you can barely see the edge of it, but there's about 30 or 40 drivers just to the left of that Mickey Thompson flag right there. Just a huge pack of them watching the course, watching the buggies, how they handle. And I think, honestly, watching the lines they take, not because they're really concerned, but because they don't want to get lost. Got Nathaniel Bell coming off that race line starting gate.
Nathaniel Bell is our UTV Bounty class points leader, coming into the weekend with a 21-point lead. He had a third-place finish yesterday on course 1. So the time to beat right now is still the 1:34 from Josh Krapinski.
Saying Nathaniel Bell has a smooth run going.
Come on, through the finish line.
That was a 106.645 for Mr. Nathaniel Bell.
Nicely done. That is our current leader for course 2 right now. We should have a couple drivers still to go for the Bounty class before we move on to bouncers. We've got another fan from Indonesia checking in on the Rock Racing TV page. I know we had one on our YouTube channel earlier as well. Thanks for joining us here on Hillside Live. And Johnny Gibbs says Jake Pite put a Garmin in his buggy.
For real.
That's one way to make sure you won't get lost. All right. Madison King is coming up to the line. I don't even know what all's wrong with her buggy right now. I saw it getting towed down here this morning to the pits. She was not able to finish yesterday's course 1. And it actually sounds like it might not be starting right now. She's trying to get it to the starting line. I believe she was having some overheating problems yesterday.
What her dad explained to me was that the crank bearings are having issues. So I believe as the crank heats up, it actually hits the crank bearing and seizes the motor.
Oh.
Or it'll start to slow down because the friction is becoming greater until it finally seizes up and won't move at all. So that's why they towed it over here yesterday and today, because they're just trying to get her keep enough points to where she can still be on the podium for the season. So literally, she's starting it, pulling straight to the line, and taking off.
Here we go, Madison King. Let's hope she can get this buggy across the finish line.
So he said if she takes off strong and all of a sudden it starts running really crappy, that is why. It's not because it's the buggy. It's literally the motor starting to seize up.
So basically she just needs to make this run really fast.
Really quick. Really quick.
Before things go wrong. And she's up and over that hardest part of it right now. All right, so far so good. She's over halfway through the course. I think she's going to make it.
Again, as Bree would say, it's all downhill from here.
It's all downhill from here. We're going to get the T-shirt made at some point.
Yes, yes.
She made it.
There we go.
Nice. 1:10.648. That's a second place time right now. Nathaniel Bell has the lead with a 1:06, followed by Madison King with a 1:10, Josh Kropinski with a 1:34, and Nathan King with a 2:17. And we've got Casey Howell on the line now.
Literally, she flew through the finish line and just immediately shut it off. Her dad was laughing. I was like, oh, I said, tone over. I said, it was like a Pro Mod drag car. And he started laughing. He's like, yeah, it's just so much horsepower. We can't be firing this up. Because that's what it looked like. A lot of the high-end, like funny cars and stuff, the rails, they'll pull to the starting line because it's such high horsepower and it's such compression. It literally destroys the motor within 3-second pass, you know. So we were kind of laughing just because that's how they do the big high horsepower motors. So
look, they were ready for this. They had their plan.
Yeah. He took off as soon as she crossed the finish line, too, yeah. Again, they're just trying to get this buggy through the weekend. Coming in second on that course, I believe she was sitting in third place for the season going into this weekend.
She was, but only 4 points ahead of Josh Kropinski, who was in fourth place.
Yeah,
and
so having a DNF yesterday.
They both DNF'd on course one.
So it's literally a toss-up right now of how this is going to shake out. It's literally going to come down to probably the last stinking course. Literally going to come down to the last stinking course, which is exciting for a spectator and also kind of exciting as a racer. You like to see where it's really close and literally comes down to the last course. I mean, I prefer if I'm racing, I want to be on the top, but I mean, it is still neat to watch that battle. Bill up there doing some maintenance up there in the trail.
Sounds like we're taking out a couple trees on the
yes.
on the way of the course right now
for camera and production visibility.
All right, I think we've just got 2 drivers left for round 2 of UTV Bounty. Right now, Nathaniel Bell's in the lead with a 106, then Madison King with a 110, Josh Krapinski with a 134, and Nathan King with a 217. Nathan did have a fast time. Unfortunately, he got a little lost on the course and took a wrong turn, so he had to come back and do it all again. And got himself that 217. But, hey, at least he got a point or a time on the board. Casey Howell out on the course now. Casey second in points coming into the weekend in Bounty class. He also took the win at Indian Mountain for our last race a few weeks ago. And he is sitting in that top 5 in Cup class as well, coming into finals weekend. Jason, if you're asking about Matt Myrick, Nathan King did run for Matt's points in the Cup class.
It's incredible how easy they're making this course look and how incredibly hard it used to be. And these guys are just like whizzing right up it. Again, we've also raced here when this course has been incredibly wet too, which is a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just to even get up to the hard parts, quote unquote, just to get up to the hard parts is a chore. And you have to carry up so much momentum into it. It's just unbelievable.
We are definitely enjoying some beautiful October weather here at Wildcat this weekend, and very grateful for it after a super rainy race season. Casey Howell making quick work of this course.
He is flying.
Man, I can't tell if he's going to be beating that 106 from Nathaniel or not at this point. I think he might have it. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's a 99.517. That is your new leader. I mean, who's the next closest time? 90?
106.
106.
From Nathaniel
Wow.
Bell. Yeah. Nicely done, Casey Howell.
Yeah.
He also had a second place time yesterday on course 1, so things are looking good for him in the Bounty class. But we still have 2 courses to go. We've got Alston Tidwell out there right now. He is going to wrap up round 2 for UTV Bounty.
That's a rough ledge to be coming down right there.
You know, and when you're in the driver's seat and you're looking straight down, you're at the top of an obstacle like that, and you're basically just looking straight down. Like, it just looks so different on camera. I wish you guys could experience, like, the first-person view of being in the driver's seat on race day. It's such a difference in perspective.
It really is.
Watching the in-cab GoPro footage, I guess, is about as close as you can get. Matt and I often joke that when we race, it feels like you're going so fast. You know, you're getting bobbled around in there. You're trying to remember which course, you know, which direction, which you were going to put your tire on that rock. You were going to stay to the left of that tree and watch out for that banner. And
yes.
And all this is happening so quickly while you're in there racing, and you're shifting and you know, rear steering and all the things. And it feels like it's happening so fast, and then you go back and watch the video,
yeah,
and
you're
it's
like, wow.
Okay.
Didn't realize I backed up 19 times
that
there.
That was a little slower than it felt like.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel like the sense of urgency in the cab is like...
Your adrenaline gets
yes.
going. You're getting race mode. All right. That's a 136.852 from Alston Tidwell. And that does wrap up course 2 for UTV Bounty. Let me go ahead and give you guys that rundown. We had Casey Howell with the fastest time with a 99, wow. And then Nathaniel Bell with a 106, Madison King with a 110. Let's see, Josh Krapinski with a 134, Alston Tidwell with a 136, and Nathan King with a 217. So that like means
Madison barely squeaking in. Hold on to that third spot for now, but we still have 2 more courses.
For now, we're only halfway done, though.
We'll see how it shakes out.
That means we are ready to go to course 2 for the RCV Axle Bouncer class. First, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with all that bouncer racing action, so you guys don't go far.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend, the new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound, Powerply 3-ply construction, improved 4-pitch side biters, proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
So we were a sponsor of SRRS in 2012, the first year, and we built our product to the racers. They had a need, we had a solution. They were breaking parts, breaking axles, and we were able to build the strongest axles on the planet for them. We developed the Big Bell CV over that period of time as well, which is the 40 spline, 47 spline stuff that you see in a majority of the rock bouncers. And we've also developed UTV for the UTV buggies and the stock class racers. We've got product for that as well. So we've really utilized this racing to develop and work with these guys the best product available. So over the years, we've worked really closely with drivers like Tim Cameron. He's been very helpful helping us develop this product line for the UTV, the rock bouncer, and he's been quite successful himself doing the racing, as well as a ton of others. We couldn't be here without these guys testing our product and doing these things, pushing us to the limit to help them push them to the limit.
All right, so this is our XT tire, and this is the 35, 10, 15. This is the biggest tire that we make for a UTV. And this is the road compound. We have 2 different compounds. As you can see, it's kind of hard to squeeze these together. This is going to last you a lot longer if you're just doing trail riding, riding on asphalt to get to the trails. If you're trailering and you're only going to be on trails, then I would recommend our trail compound. And it's much softer. You grip and grab those rocks really well. That's what the majority of our drivers that we sponsor use the XC trail compound. But we also have our AMP tire. And this is a 6-ply tire. The XT is an 8-ply. It's got really tough sidewalls. And in fact, one of our drivers took first place in the Bounty Series last race in Hot Springs with this tire. So those are the 2 main tires that all racers use. And you can get any of these tires and the wheels that they're mounted on through Rock Life as well.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerply XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the last and final weekend of racing of the 2024 National Rock Racing Association here at Wildcat Off-Road Park, presented by Mickey Thompson. I have Bree in the booth with me. What is up so far this weekend?
A lot is happening out here this weekend, Matt. We had an awesome day of racing yesterday. Today is our day 2 of 3, so we've still got a lot of racing action here to come. We are just about ready to start course 2 of the RCV Axle Bouncer Cup class. I see DC Thompson on the line, ready to kick things off for us. Just a quick rundown from yesterday. Our points, we only had one change. So Timmy's still in the lead with 880 points, followed by Daniel Heckley with 834. Nick Reich moving up to that third place spot now with 4 points more than Cooper Bentley, who moved on down to the fourth place spot. And then we've got Clint Garrison rounding out top 5 now. Clayton Smith moved down to 6. So that's how things are sitting as we move into course 2 for the bouncer class. I think we are ready to go see some racing action, Matt.
Yeah, 4 points separating. Again, you got to wonder how that plays in later today. So you know those guys are definitely trying to hold on to a spot or take someone else's. We've got DC Thompson, as Bree said, sitting in that race line starting gate, getting ready to kick things off here. This is our second course of the weekend. DC having a wild run yesterday, but a good smooth one. Again, those rocks we initially thought were going to be a lot bigger problem this weekend. Everybody's pretty much scaled through them. That long, steep rock climb there we've seen give so many guys trouble in the past few years. They have chipped away a little bit at it, so it makes it a little bit easier.
They have been making it look easy so far this weekend.
Again, DC getting ready to come down. You can see all the drivers kind of running over to watch him to see how the buggy's handling, how the course is going. Again, being the first guy on, you're kind of the guinea pig. Everybody's watching how fast you go or how easy the buggy does.
Uh-oh, come on, DC. Don't be getting lost on us. Bless his heart. DC does sometimes have trouble keeping the courses clear when he gets out there. And it is a lot to keep track of, especially when you're racing multiple classes and there are so many course options that we're working with on this Mickey Thompson mountainside out here at Wildcat. Looks like he's got it figured out.
Yeah, I think he might be also having some issues with steering, the way he was kind of jerking the wheel a little bit in the cab. Again, DC will not let that stop him, though. He will still try to get a finish out of this. Can whip it around that corner, coming back around. Again, these are some long, steep ledges here. We've seen several guys roll over yesterday, including myself. You can watch the back wheels kind of lift as they start coming down to show you how steep this stuff really is.
And there it is.
That's a 139.343 for our first racer, Mr. DC Thompson. We got Daniel Heckley sitting in that race line starting gate. He did just put a new power steering pump on his rear steer this morning that he had his father-in-law bring from St. Louis last night. He was able to find one, have somebody bring it here. They put it on this morning, so he's definitely going to go out and set it on fire right now.
Yeah, there's no shortage of, let's just say, some drama during a race weekend, especially finals, when parts are falling apart and things are trying to get fixed. You've got everybody crowding around in the campground trying to help. And like you said, coming all the way from St. Louis, the pump that he needed, and they managed to get it here to Kentucky in time to put it in this morning because Daniel is sitting second in points, and he doesn't want to sacrifice any of that.
Yeah. Has a smooth go running. Make it definitely quick work of this Mickey Thompson mountain. Have a little bit of a woods course there, connecting that first big hill with the second one. Again, hearing that buggy rev is just incredible. Ooh.
Oh.
Woo! Launching out the top of that hill.
I'd say he is hell-bent on making a statement.
Yes.
He didn't go through all that work last night for nothing.
Again, taking his time, being cautious with these ledges, not making any silly mistakes. And again, downhill is where I think you're really going to see some guys push it this weekend. You know, being cautious is one thing and making sure you have a good smooth run, but being able to push on that downhill section is super key. Be able to make up some time. See what his time's going to be. Wow.
9.667, and the bar has been set.
Wow.
By Daniel Heckley here on course 2. But you know, Daniel didn't even finish top 5 yesterday.
Man.
But the points did not change with our top 5, so he still stayed in that second place spot with a pretty comfortable points lead over third place.
We got Nick Reich and Fordzilla sitting in that raceline starting gate. Clock is hot.
And Nick Reich moved from 4th place to 3rd place after yesterday's racing. He had an awesome run on Hill 1 with a 2nd place time.
Again, had a wheelie, literally rode a wheelie yesterday on the course. Going to try to be a little bit more smooth. Also had some drive shaft issues in our last race. Not only did he have a new set of drive shafts made, he had 2 backups made. 2 complete backups. So he should be ready to go this weekend and have no technical issues.
When you're driving all the way from Wisconsin for these races, and we race around the southeast, guys, it's not like it's close to home for him.
Yeah.
I would make sure I had plenty of backups too. So
again, special shout out to Nick. A bunch of us crowded around his semi last night and got to watch that episode of Speed Sport 1 airing from Wildcat Race that we're racing at this weekend. Again, you can see him being a little bit more timid than yesterday. You know, after having that wild wheelie, I think he was like, okay, I need to be a little more cautious. Nick having a real smooth run here. Again, making up some time coming down the hill.
all right, let's see what it is.
98.446. Your new leader, Mr. Nick Reich.
Nicely done.
Again, yesterday, definitely putting down a good time. He's trying to work that way up and hold on to those points. Again, Cooper, we know, already our youngest season champion ever, definitely is going to try to come back. We got Ethan Jones pulling up in that race line starting gate. Ethan Jones in that wicked buggy out there. This is a newer chassis. He just unveiled about 9 months ago. Definitely doing work in it today. And making it look easy. Just doing some work there in that Mickey Thompson Mountain.
I would even say that was totally wicked.
Oh, my goodness.
he had a little backup there at the top. Not sure if he's just having trouble getting steered the way he wants to go, or if he got a little confused up there. Looks like he's going the right way now, though. We've seen plenty of buggies take a tumble down that hill before, so I'm not surprised to be watching a lot of them kind of check up coming down there. And as always, remember, the hills are way steeper in person than they appear on camera.
Yeah, and we've seen them tumble going up and down, both directions, so definitely be a little cautious.
Making his way up those super grip stair steps.
Again, that is a tight turn right there. Again, you can see those back wheels get real light on some of those downhill sections.
That's a 150.005 for Ethan Jones.
And Ethan Jones is going to run, I believe, so they can take some parts off his. Right, he ran earlier than normal. They're going to take some parts off his and I think put on maybe Wade's buggy. I was hearing some chatter on the radio about that, so I think there's some swapping going around.
I'm not surprised. We are on course 2 for the RCV Axle Bouncer class. Guys, not quite halfway through, about a third of the way through. And we've got Randall Key on the line now in Undertaker. If you are newer to the series and newer to the sport, then we always have to mention that Randall Key has been around just about longer than anybody else out here. He's been with this series since its beginning in 2012. I think he has raced at least one race every season since then, if I'm not mistaken. And I like to say he's one of the oldest of the OGs that is still racing with us. We love to see him out here. And one thing about Randall that's unique, his buggy is completely driven with hand controls. So Randall is actually paralyzed from the waist down, so he does everything with hand controls. So there's a whole lot of multitasking going on that bouncer. And Randall's an incredible driver and just a great guy, and we're always glad to see him out here being able to join us once again with his race fam.
And again, you know, it sounds crazy to be driving with hand controls, but he also has rear steer on top of that. So not only are you working your steering wheel, you're also working rear steer as well as gas and brake, plus your shifter.
And
like
shifting, yep.
I'm lucky to do that with 2 hands and 2 feet some days.
The other unique thing about his buggy is its rear engine. We've got a handful of those racing with us in the series, but it's definitely less common.
Yes.
So I would say that he's got the most unique buggy out here just by those 2 features alone.
And also being independent front suspension as well.
Yeah. He's checking all the boxes. And Randall's able to manage it all like a boss. Our current leader right now on course 2 is Nick Reich with a 98, followed by Daniel Heckley with a 99. Then we've got DC Thompson with a 139 and Ethan Jones with a 150. And this Randall Key out on the course right now. making his way up those super grip stair steps.
Taking his time, checking up a little bit there. Again, you can see that rear axle get really lightweight really quickly.
There it is.
That's going to be a 179.176 for Mr. Randall Key.
We've got Daniel Bowman on the line now in Tyrant.
He was driving down this morning, had his pit bike strapped to the back of it. He just pointed to the back, and we're like, what's he pointing at? And he drove by, and the pit bike was strapped to the back of it. I definitely had to appreciate that. I think he puts his miles on the pit bike as many as anything else. So he also has a bunch of family. They live in Cincinnati. Has a bunch of family. His sister Claire is normally on the live feed. Dan Bowman, part of that Reclaim Racing team. Out there just monster trucking in this awesome chassis. Just getting wicked out there in that Mickey Thompson Mountain. Again, like Bree said, watch these guys check up there a little bit, just because we have seen quite a few interesting rollovers coming through there.
I think this is our, maybe 5th or 6th season racing here at Wildcat?
Yeah. They do a great job of getting the park ready. Again, with that new spectator area they built, there's not a bad seat in the whole house.
There really isn't. Even so much that people can put up their tents and still have good visibility. They did a really great job getting ready for us here to host finals at Wildcat. And since we've been racing here for so many seasons, we've seen a little bit of everything out here. You know, we've seen all the rollovers up and down the hill, and out down here on the flat section too.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's going to be a quick time.
105.395 for Dan Bowman. That is a third place time. Nick Reich in the lead with a 98 right now, followed by Daniel Heckley with a 99, and then Daniel Bowman with a 105. Those are your top three right now. We're not quite halfway through Course 2 for the RCB Axle Bouncer class, and Wade Good is on the line. Wade had the fastest time yesterday on Course 1.
And is absolutely out there just getting it right now.
He's running for Colby Reich's points this weekend.
Just absolutely out there getting wild with that buggy right now.
If you are newer to the series, newer to the sport, you might not recognize Wade's name if you've only been watching from this season. He hasn't been racing with us for a little while, a little hiatus, but in the past couple seasons, he has definitely made plenty of statements out here on the race course, just as he is doing this weekend as well.
Again, letting that motor just roar out here. Woo!
Obviously has not lost his touch at all, even with a little bit of a break.
literally just riding wheelies up the course right now. Taking full advantage of this Mickey Thompson mountain.
Hey, we don't call it rock bouncing for nothing, and I think that Wade's run up the hill just now was a great example of where that name came from.
He is flying. That's got to be one of our new fastest times. 91.832. Your new
Holy
leader
smokes.
by almost 7 seconds. Again, Colby definitely has to be happy with that. Having Wade could hop in there and race for him.
Oh, man.
All right, we got Clint Garrison pulling up in that race line starting gate.
Clint moved himself up to 5th place after his run yesterday. He had a 3rd place finish yesterday and is now sitting 5th in points behind Cooper Bentley.
Out there making sure we got a course clear. Making sure all flags are all ready to go. Appreciate all our course workers and all of our camera crew out there helping, making sure we get a great live feed for you guys today. All right, Clint Garrison, clock is hot. Here we go.
All right, like I mentioned, Clint moved up to 5th place in points after his run yesterday, a 3rd place finish on course 1.
Clint started out racing a UTV in 2017 with us. Then a few years ago, picked up a bouncer.
And he's been laying down some smooth, fast passes ever since. Oh, this is our first little bobble that we've seen on this section of the course. There it is, and he cleared it that time. What used to be such a difficult obstacle here at Wildcat in years past. These guys are making it look pretty easy today.
Yeah, again, watching those downhill sections, we're going to see, I think, some of the guys that have faster times have a little quicker downhill sections. Again, have that kind of teeter-totter of safety yet speed. You want to be safe, but at the same time keep that momentum going. And Clint's had a very successful season this year. Definitely smooth and consistent.
And Clint is one of our local Kentucky drivers, local to Wildcat.
Flying through there.
103.425 for Clint Garrison. Definitely a solid run. That is a 4th place time right now. Wade Good in the lead with a 91, followed by Nick Reich with a 98, Daniel Heckley 99, and Clint Garrison with a 103.
We got Jay Storts in forward play, shooting at that race line starting gate. Getting Jay doing some work in this buggy yesterday as well. Here at Finals, we do have multiple days of racing. Get Jay one of our 3 buggies, I think, racing Ford engines this weekend with us. You can see that suspension doing work coming across those ruts.
Oh, no. Come on, Jay.
You can see the cutout on that far right side there where it's undercut pretty considerably.
I think he tried to just go right up the middle,
Yeah.
and the line is over on the left side.
Yeah. The farther you go right, the more undercut it is, and it's just, that you only have so much belly height there.
Which, when you're bouncing your way up to an obstacle, sometimes you end up not exactly on the line that you were hoping for. And you either have to decide to try and ride it out and make it work, or if you're going to back up and try and get where you want to be instead.
Yes. It's like the good old Fact Dash from Mike Tyson quote. Everybody's got a plan until you hit in the face. And this is about 12 of those successfully right in a row. So you're just trying to hit your landmarks to be as close to your plan as possible. Jay ripping through there. That was a 133.155 from Mr. Jay Storts.
And we are halfway through Course 2 for the RCV Axle Bouncer class.
We got Chris Grigg sitting in that race line starting gate. He's one of our North Carolina racers. He added a supercharger earlier this year. Got some power.
And there it is. You can hear it now.
And for those of you who watched yesterday, Bree pointed out the fact that Chris did not decide we're going to wait till Saturday and to race hard. He came out the gate and full tilt race. So I think you're going to see an exciting run again. Just keeping with the theme for the weekend from Chris. He's got some great power, got a well-tuned suspension. So I see big things coming from Chris.
Oh, stay with it. There it is.
Baby, go. There we go. Getting out the top there. Again, we used to see guys literally spend 20 minutes on that section there, and then either a break, roll down the hill. I being one of those guys. Especially that was, and it would get wet. It would be just a nightmare. Chris did check up just a hair there. Yesterday, he kind of bounced through that downhill section. We were watching, actually, after our Speed Sport 1 episode aired last night, we went ahead and watched the race today, and it was very, very interesting. Guys, we were watching runs to see how much they need to adjust today, making changes so that buggy's dialed in a little bit better.
Well, and this park varies so much depending on whether it's wet or dry conditions. That'll change everything right there. Luckily, we've got some beautiful weather this weekend for finals. And we are definitely enjoying the change of pace after a very rainy and muddy past couple of races.
There we go. Ripping through that finish line.
With a 108.916. Not bad time at all. I believe that is about a 6th place time right now.
Again, that top 5 is getting very, very competitive. We got Connor Flynn sitting in that race line starting gate. He is running for Jack Porter this weekend. I seen Sparky over there. They were hanging out with him this weekend. Again, this is also a rear mount engine.
Connor is one of our youngest racers in the bouncer class, and he's been doing an awesome job piloting this buggy for, about half the season he's raced with us this year?
Had some mechanical issues at Indian Mountain, but definitely on a smooth run. That suspension, you can tell, is definitely doing some work there. Got a chance to hang out with Connor a little bit, walked on the course yesterday.
Yeah, I know he has raced this buggy in another series, but this season was his first time racing with us here in the NRRA, and it's been it's always fun to add new drivers to the roster.
Heck yeah.
This Bullzilla, a very capable buggy. Connor doing a great job with it.
Definitely see him after he launched up that dirt ledge, taking that far left lane. Getting the ruts up there in that rock section are just brutal.
Oh, no! What?
Dang it. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Dang it.
Okay, you guys have heard us talking about the unexpected rollovers that we've had with our racing yesterday, and now, I mean, I did not see that one coming. Connor was rolling on down with a great run. On his lid. Wow, you hate to see that, especially finals weekend.
I know. And again, we had been talking all weekend about the tires getting real light, seeing the tires kind of pick up as they were dropping down some of those, the undercut part. So as those tires are picking up, you definitely see that. We got a replay here presented by Rock Racing TV. Again, you can see that front end drop, that back end just barely carries over. And again, I thought it was going to go back to its wheels, but not quite enough.
Yeah, he didn't even have a chance to do much with it there.
Not quite enough momentum there. Can we appreciate that replay? Got our course workers out there.
What a bummer.
Keith, our recovery expert, trying to get him flipped back over.
Well, now is a great time to recognize and say thank you to all of our recovery and safety staff and volunteers for helping us with our events, keeping everything running smooth and keeping everybody safe. It takes a village to put on an event like this, and especially just the nature of what we're doing out here.
Yeah.
Obviously, safety is priority, and recovery is part of that because, well, as you can see, it is necessary.
Looks like they went ahead and got Connor out of the vehicle. So a lot of times drivers will stay in the vehicle. I like to just stay in. It's a little easier. Again, yesterday you talked about trying to get that top buckle undone. So
listen, trying to get unbuckled when the buggy's upside down, then you're on the roof and, your helmet, you're trying to crawl out the window. It's just not easy.
It's not easy. It isn't. It's just easier to be like, leave me in here.
It is sometimes
fine.
Necessary. And,
yes.
You got to know how to do it and be able to do it. But it's not always easy.
Yeah, just leave me in here.
You're upside down.
It's fine. Flip me back over. But I got Connor out, watching it get flipped back over. Again, had a smooth run going there, and we've been talking all weekend about those undercut ledges.
He was one turn away from the finish
literally,
line.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You hate to see that. Dang it. Again, and had a smooth run going. All the drivers definitely over there checking that out. Making sure they're paying attention. Taylor's saying it's a rear mount engine. That's why I had too much weight in the back end. Yeah. That's going to be my excuse. Too much weight. Too much weight yesterday. Kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't, right? Get a real low center of gravity. But then what would happen with Brandon? Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what. His IFS just works so well. It soaks everything up. Bree's over here needing CPR. She's got a piece of chicken stuck right here. You never know. Listen. Whatever, okay? Listen, a corporate elbow fixes everything, all right? Just bam. Shout out to our recovery expert, Keith. out there taking great care of us. Make sure all of us keep our rock bouncers going.
What do we got in the cooler? Drink. Water. Never mind. I shared some chicken fingers. I'll probably get some here in a minute.
Looks like all the bouncers getting fired back up. Keith getting back in his quick response position there. Wade Good pulling down there. Got a handful of the bouncers kind of moving over to get a little bit of position, watch some of the other racers. And we appreciate Keith and all he does for the series, not just at races, but helping us get to races, home from races. All right, Ben Driscoll's coming up, sitting in that race line starting gate. He picked up this chassis earlier this year. We talked yesterday about how he's getting more and more comfortable with it, using that rear steer, whipping around. Definitely had a pretty good season with it. Again, his race team name is Jackhammer. And I was like, that's pretty cool, which fits very well since he does concrete. So it, definitely a great play on words there.
I like it.
Making sure we got a course clear here.
All right, here we go with Ben Driscoll.
Again, Ben also made a cool skid plate. Hopefully you guys don't have to see, but kind of cool. Riding a wheelie right up with no problem.
Uh-oh. Maybe a problem.
No.
He made it past the hard part.
As Zach would say, it just came uncroaked. Dang it, you hate to see that. Again, had a nice smooth run going.
I think I just saw a window
Dang
net
it.
come down, so that's never a good sign.
You hate to see that.
He's getting out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Again, there's literally a dirt road straight ahead, so if they do have to pull it, it's a pretty easy pull out. But again, it's just very unfortunate. You hate to see that happen.
All right, we're not sure if he is trying to see if this is something that he can self-recover.
Which we hope it is.
or if he's going to end up needing some assistance. So once somebody else touches the buggy and offers, assistance in that way, the run is considered over, and it would be a DNF. So you'll notice nobody else is touching it except Ben right now. He's looking around, seeing if it's, what it is that might be wrong, if it's something that he can go ahead and fix himself and get back in and finish his run. But once somebody else steps in and helps and touches the buggy, then his run would be considered over.
And again, we've seen a connector just come undone, cop out, plug a connector in, and still be able to finish the run. So it just kind of... So just having a kind of issue, you hate to see that happen. So if there's any way that he can get that stinking thing going and still get a finish out of the course. And again, I think we have a 4-minute time limit, so he has approximately 2 minutes left here to see if he can't get that buggy going.
And man, if he already made it over the hard part.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably, I would say, the most difficult part of the course he's already completed. Although this weekend, that may not be the most difficult part of the course.
Well, I think that round 3 and 4 are going to bring some more challenges for our bouncer class. So we are about 2/3 of the way through course 2 for the RCB Axle Bouncer class right now. Ben Driscoll trying to figure out what's wrong and see if he can get going again and finish his run here. Thank you guys for tuning in with us here on Hillside Live. Hope you're enjoying all the racing action today, and hope you're able to catch yesterday's races as well. Today is day 2 of 3 here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in Kentucky for the NRRA Finals presented by Mickey Thompson. We still have a lot of racing left to go for today and tomorrow, and then a whole lot of awards to give out tomorrow evening at our awards banquet.
A lot of awards to give out. Lots and lots. Some you want to win, some you don't.
The Skinny Pedal Award.
Skinny Pedal is not one you want to win, but definitely some wild rides.
And we will have 2 Skinny Pedal Awards to give out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dylan Dowler won from our last race at Indian Mountain with his front flip in the UTV stock class. And we have yet to see who is going to win the finals Skinny Pedal Award. A big thank you and shout out to Jonathan Shepard for partnering with us on the Skinny Pedal Award again this season, for making those awesome creative trophies. We love seeing what he comes up with each season. Give you guys a little peek at what the trophies look like here if you haven't seen them yet. Let me get it to catch the light.
Very cool.
There.
Very cool.
There we go.
Chrome-looking trophy.
Skinny Pedal
Yes.
Award 2024. So yes, it's fun getting to put these. It's like they win an
Yes.
Olympic medal,
Yeah.
and you get to
Yes.
put it on over the head.
The national anthem is playing behind them. Yeah.
So yes, again, thank you to Jonathan Shepard for doing that with us again this season. We've had a lot of fun with it over the past couple seasons, and like Matt said, for the drivers, it's one of those awards that you don't intend
Yes.
to win. You're not necessarily trying to, but when the skinny pedal is appropriately applied,
Yes.
sometimes wild things happen.
It
and
does.
we appreciate the entertainment value of that,
Yes.
and
Yes,
figure
we
you might
do.
as well get
We
a cool
do.
trophy for it.
If you're
so.
the spectator in that situation, it's a great time. If you're the driver, not so much. But, yeah. As a fan, I would say yes. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Watch those guys roll over, get back on off wheels, take back off again. Very, very cool.
Yep.
Very exciting. Especially if they can finish the course, that's even cooler. I feel like there's a lot more cool points there.
That's what Dylan did at
Yeah.
Indian Mountain.
Yeah.
He
And
had
wow.
his front flip
That
and
was a
then
wild
was still
ride.
able to
Yeah.
keep going and finish the course.
Yeah.
Door was hanging off.
Yeah, it was like a safety latch or something. It was like flapping in the wind as he's driving by. I feel like that definitely awards a safety.
Yep, he earned that one.
Skinny pedal, yeah.
All of our drivers have earned their skinny pedal awards.
Yeah, and again, it's not one you want to earn, but it is kind of a neat gesture. And again, shout out to Jonathan Shepard. He always builds really cool stuff, so I love the fact he does kind of a cool, new, fun trophy. And he said, he was like, man, I'm going to make a big charm thing. We were laughing about it at King of Hammers around the campfire. And he's, oh, you silly goose. And then he did it. He 100%
Of course
did
he
it.
did.
So, shout out to him. He always has cool, fun, new ideas. And I like the fact it's a big blower motor, too, because skinny pedal, that's kind of a big blower motor is like, the epiphany of skinny pedal. So,
Yep.
very, very cool. And shout out to him and all he does to help support the sport of rock bouncing and off-road racing.
Yep. Good stuff. We'll have fun awarding those tomorrow night.
Oh, man.
So we just heard on the radio that when Ben bottomed out at the top of the hill, one of the wire came off one of his switches.
And I've had that happen before. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. I landed real hard one time, bobbled it, bam, and a fuse had slid out of the fuse holder. So literally, once I got done, we pulled it back, we figured out what it was. Literally, all I had to do was just slide the fuse back in the holder, and it ran great. I'm like, man.
It looks like Ben might have gotten it figured out, but it was short-lived, so let's see if he can get it going again.
Again, you hate to see that. Oh, I only see one, maybe both rear tires. Get her done. He's like, I can self-recover. It's okay. Looks like he was able to self-recover there.
He got it off the hill at least.
Yeah.
Still hate that he couldn't finish his run.
What's up, Bub Meadows? Mr. Addictive Photography up there on the hill. Our official photographer of the 2024 National Rock Racing Series. Yeah, not sure exactly what he broke. Again, as we have to get the course clear. He's pulling around, so he's already off the course. Get all our course workers back, get everything reset. All right, we got Tim Cameron sitting in that race line starting gate. This is your current season points leader.
All right, Timmy had a fourth-place finish on Hill 1 yesterday with a quick but conservative run. He's got a pretty big lead coming into this weekend of racing.
And again, we talked a little bit about that yesterday, as why you think he just wants to be quick and consistent. He doesn't necessarily need to come out and win every course to finish that number one spot for the season. So,
well, with a 46-point lead, I'd say he's definitely pretty comfortable with that. The fastest time on this hill right now is Wade Good with a 91. I don't think Timmy's going to be trying overly hard to lay down the fastest pass. I think we'll see from him like we did yesterday. Smooth but conservative. Conservative for Timmy, anyway.
Yes, yeah. There's an asterisk there. Conservative for Timmy. And you can hear that motor just doing work. Again, Timmy making quick work of this downhill section. Right there, checking up just a little bit. And ripping to the finish line. That was a 97.651 for Mr. Tim Cameron, and that is our new,
That's a second place time
second
right now.
fastest time. Wade Good holding on to that number one spot still.
Richard Hodges on that race line starting gate now.
Richard Hodges coming all the way from North Carolina to race with us this weekend at finals. Definitely had a great run so far this season.
So as it sits right now, we've got Wade Good in the lead with a 91, and then Tim Cameron with a 97, and Nick Reich with a 98. Those are the top three right now. We've got a handful of drivers left for Course 2 of the RCB Axle Bouncer class.
Ooh.
I know Richard, like most of the drivers out here, has had his share of some mechanical issues this season. He's had to work through. It seems like everybody does at one point or another. Glad to be able to see most of our drivers, season drivers, be able to make it out here for finals. The culmination of the 2024 season.
Come on. There we go. Out the top the hill, and it's all downhill from here.
Oh, you're just stealing my tagline now.
That does need to be a T-shirt. Again, we've seen a few guys definitely check that after Connor Flynn's rollover. We've seen several guys definitely check up right there, especially since you're so close to the finish line.
123.720 for Richard Hodges, and either his rear steer is stuck or he was just doing that for fun.
50-50.
Little crab walking through the finish line there.
Yeah. Knowing him, it's a 50-50 shot.
All right. Cooper Bentley on the course. Cooper had a 5th place finish on course 1 yesterday. Unfortunately, that allowed Nick Reich to pass him up and take that 3rd place spot in points for today. Cooper now 4 points behind Nick Reich in 4th place spot.
Woo!
Get it, Coop.
That rear end donkey kicking up that hill. And this Mickey Thompson Mountain has provided tons of racing action for this weekend. Lots of courses to pick from, especially with all of our different things we have going on this weekend. Cooper definitely checking up a little bit coming downhill.
Nick Reich had a time of 98.4. So Cooper's going to have to beat that if he wants to reclaim his 3rd place spot. But this is only course 2. We've still got 2 more courses for our bouncer class.
He's had a quick time. He was pushing hard. See what that time's going to be.
With a 96.431, Cooper did just edge out Nick Reich on course 2 right now. That's a 2nd place time currently.
Ooh.
Wade Good still in the lead with a 91, but now followed by Cooper Bentley with a 96, Tim Cameron with a 97, Nick Reich with a 98, and Daniel Heckley with a 99.
I'm not sure what happened, but when he came through the finish line, it sounded like a drive shaft was banging around. And I heard Clyde call for recovery, but he was able to start it up and drive it away, but something did not sound right there. All right, we got Clayton Sith coming out that race line starting gate. Getting Clayton. Clayton had a wild ride yesterday. Rolled it over, did a little Bobby Tanner magic, sprinkled on there, and then was able to put it back on all fours.
He certainly did, and we do have a little highlight reel from some of yesterday's wild action, and hopefully we'll be able to share that with you guys a little bit later. I'm sure Clayton is hoping for a bit of a smoother run today and an actual finish, because unfortunately he did DNF yesterday on course 1. Oh man, why does this always happen right after we say it?
And again, this buggy is such a monster buggy.
I heard that it might be he needed a battery. He was having trouble finding a battery yesterday. 16 volt.
I did see that. He was looking for
couldn't find one around here.
Two 16-volt batteries he was looking for last night.
So this is what happened to him yesterday. He had his rollover. Bobby Tannered it, like Matt said, and was able to get it back on all fours and continue up the course. And then the buggy quit at the top of the hill, just like this.
Definitely an awesome shot there, looking inside the buggy. Again, such a bummer. After having a great, smooth run, you hate to see that and not get a finish out of it.
Man, and Clayton came into the weekend 5th in points, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but man, coming into finals in the top 5 for any of these classes is no easy feat, and there's a whole lot of work and dedication and commitment all season long that goes into making that happen. So for him to come in 5th, and then yesterday he slipped down to 6th, and then there's no telling after today with another DNF how that's going to move him down in the points. But, man, I just really hate to see that for him, especially after he's had such a great season.
Yeah.
And really just been making huge strides since his rookie year of racing with us. Taylor, if you want to play the highlight reel from yesterday, for those that missed the action, this might be a good time. So this is from yesterday's run.
Yeah, being able to put it back on all fours was absolutely awesome.
That was Brandon Davis. Nick Reich with the wheelie.
Riding a wheelie.
Matt Holt with the roll. The tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll. And right here, I was like, at first I thought, did I roll over? Because I felt a snap real hard.
You thought you rolled over again.
I did. I was like, was that 2 rolls or 1? Because I was still a little discombobulated, but I was like, I need to keep the buggy going forward. It wasn't running. It was not happy after that. I had a couple injectors that had been stuck open. I'm sure there's some debris or something in there. They were definitely not happy, but was still able to get a finish at it. So,
All right, guys, once we get Clayton recovered off the course, we do still have Brandon Davis to make his run for course 2, and then that's going to wrap it up.
Our current season champion for one more day. And our current rookie of the year, Colby, is out here in his military truck, and he is giving rides. He's had more fun, I think, in that than he would in his bouncer almost.
Is that his up there on the hill?
Yes, the big army one, yeah. He was giving rides yesterday. I seen Jay Stortz in there at one point. They were driving up the hill. Jay was waving.
I am so not surprised.
They were having, I seen, who else was there? Well, initially they pulled up, I think it was Kenneth Cozine in there. They were just honking and waving.
Sounds about right. Probably Wade.
Wade was definitely in there at one point.
All right, guys, we are going to let Brandon Davis make his run. So our current rundown on course 2 for the bouncers, Wade Good solidly in the lead with a 91, followed by Cooper Bentley, I believe, with a 96. Then Tim Cameron with a 97, Nick Reich with a 98, and Daniel Heckley with a 99. Those are your top 5 right now. But we've still got Brandon Davis coming to the line.
And this guy would love to upset that apple cart that you just mentioned. So, all right, clock is hot. Brandon Davis taking up the line. Brandon with that new wrap, those new race line powder coating. Sprinkling in some orange. That independent front suspension buggy definitely doing work.
So Brandon was the victim of one of those unfortunate, weird rollovers yesterday. He did not stick the landing like Matt did.
He did not. Again, his buggy is just so wide and flat. I'm sure once it gets upside down, it's a little harder to get it put back on all fours.
And he also had a wild ride down that hill section he just came down earlier this year when we were racing here in the spring.
Definitely making quick work of it this time.
Everything's looking good so far.
Yeah, he's earned a few skinny pedal nominees this year.
We have often referred to Brandon as Mr. Consistency.
Yes.
For his ability to consistently wind up on the podiums, usually in about the third place spot. And he's joked about that before when he gets on the second place podium. He's like, this doesn't feel right.
He's like, I don't know how to act.
I don't know what to do over here.
Smooth run by Brandon. See what his time's going to be. That's a 103.210 for Mr. Brandon Davis. Again, as Bree gets our top 5 tallied up, I seen that Colby Reich stunt double Wade Good had the fastest time. And again, just coming out that starting gate, blistering hot. Not able to pick up the whole point season, but at least he can win the weekend maybe, setting this kind of pace, having that kind of quick times.
Yeah, so Wade did have the fastest time far and away with a 91. Then we had Cooper Bentley with a 96, Tim Cameron with a 97, Nick Reich with a 98, and Daniel Heckley with a 99, rounding it all out there. So that was course 2 for the RCB Axle bouncer class. We are going to take a break before we come back with whatever round we're on.
We have more racing coming your way.
We're going to come back with our youth class, and it'll be round 3 for them. But, yes, we've got lots more racing action still to come for today. We will be back at about 1:30 Eastern time. So go grab some lunch, whatever you got to do. And then hopefully we'll see you guys. Join us right back here.
We'll see you guys.